wants pets.
We'll give them pets then.
Well, how about you give your goddamn dog pets? They're considerably more bothersome than Drax's. You can't, I mean, Drax is like Bailey light. Drax is like a part-time Bailey.
Drax merely dabbles in the Bailey.
I have other words for what Bailey is, but if that's what you want to call it, sure. Wants me to scratch under his head, like scratch his neck. Like I try to pet him on the head, and he like pulls my hand towards his neck with his paw. Maybe he'll chill the hell out. Maybe. Hit traffic.
What's up?
Dealing with dog. I'm gonna push the door too, so that loud ass dog in the middle of game. All right. Go ahead and pop the stream up. This playlist doesn't have Mystic Prophecy on it. What the hell? I made a Smurf Metal playlist without Mystic Prophecy. Feels bad, man.
What's Smurf Metal?
AKA Power Metal. I mean, Hellforge can tell you all about the Smurf Metal.
I don't think I can really.
Oh, feels bad, man.
I'm not familiar with this ultramarine metal you speak of.
It's the power metal, man.
Not Smurf metal, that's cheese metal. Two different things.
Oh, that's fair. Let me see. Also just popped the stream up, so just in time.
Right, have we figured out microphones and nonsense? I see some stuff in Discord.
We decided to burn it just to be safe.
You what, mate?
Yeah, we lit the microphone on fire. I hear it increases quality.
Alright, so we play by post now. See you all next week.
I just had my microphone muted so you wouldn't hear random noise.
I'm here.
Go away.
Can you hear me like this?
Yeah, you sound alright.
Okay. My headphones hurting my ears. I'll just put it around my neck.
Yeah, that's fair. For a while, I was doing the same thing because I had good headphones, or I had a pair of wireless headphones. I still live somewhere, but they're like the mic was fine. Like it was great, but the actual speakers inside the headphones were not. So I ended up wearing those headphones around my head or around my neck to use the microphone on them. And I ended up using another pair of headphones for a while. So I used two headphones at once.
I'm playing everything through my speakers at the moment.
I
Just
gotcha.
wearing my microphone.
Yeah, I think Erden does the same thing.
I do.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
If I was a more patient man, I would set it up in such a way that I could do that without push to talk. But
I wear it. Fucking listen to stuff.
GameStop asked how to be in the Rogue Trader game. I was like, well, your only war character survives long enough that you actually, aren't Scrub Guardsman. You can be Scrub Inquisitor in Dark Heresy, and if your Scrub Inquisitor survives long enough in Dark Heresy, then you can be a Scrub Trader. The rest of us.
I mean, I do believe there is a career path somewhere that lets you take a guardsman path into archmilitant. Or maybe that's just a homebrew thing.
I feel like that's probably a homebrew thing, but it makes sense to me. I mean, seeing as what an archmilitant is, I could see that.
Yeah, in Dark Heresy, I know there is a path from guardsman into inquisitorial. So that works.
Actually, no, I think about.
No, I screwed that up. There is in one of the supplements for a second edition Dark Heresy, there is a Rogue Trader fleet as a background for making a character in Dark Heresy. I really should know this stuff considering how often I look in the books.
Books and reading and stuff is overrated, if you ask me.
You're overrated. That's why I only gave you 4 out of 5 in Yelp.
Yeah, well, I gave them money and they gave me a 5 out of 5 on Yelp.
Oh shit. Paid promotion. Alright, so if we're all here, but does anyone remember what we did last time? Because I don't.
Yeah, I can do it. Alright, 1 second, the bell just rang.
The bell? It sounded like a fucking car horn. Oh, bullshit bell.
I thought it sounded like a Mario noise.
That's racist. You know, Erden is a Mediterranean.
Alright.
Law what?
Plot twist is playing Mario Kart in the background.
Maybe. You don't know.
Erden, aren't you from like the Mediterranean area or some shit? Yeah,
Sure.
see? Turkish
So, shut up.
Bullshit.
What we did
Fuck
last
you.
time, we came back from getting the artifact. We got some acquisitions in Footfall. Our rogue trader, we tried to actually ask around, if we can find some information about some things. We all failed miserably. Our generous rogue trader asked our seneschal to, was it seneschal or was it to go and talk to some kind of trader for some kind of box. So we all took a trip down Footfall, found some posters that were half ripped up. So our crude boy decided to go steal a child's poster because he couldn't pick another one up. We got to the trader, spoke with the trader. While speaking to him, crude boy go and eat people and smear blood all over. We came back. The poster said something about a carnival. And the carnival was from the Beastmasters and another house that lived in Footfall. We got back to the ship and we decided to look for a tracker. Our seneschal did. Our seneschal found somebody somewhere in a bar, and some kind of bar in Footfall. So he took our archmilitant just for safety. Went there, and also he was the only one that's not a mutant, a rogue psyker, or a Kroot. So they went there. While they were going there, me and our rogue psyker went to go drinking. She may have passed out after a sip of Amazak. Who knows? While our Kroot actually went looking for others of his kind. He found 3 of them. Unfortunately, while speaking to them, they were a little too feral for him to handle, and one of them escaped while he captured the other 2. While he was dealing with that, our seneschal and our archmilitant impressed the tracker enough with an awesome power fist that the tracker decided to join us. We got some loots and started heading towards Helion, which the tracker suggested might have been a good place to find a beast for that carnival that we decided to take part in. Hexion, apparently the planet on Hexion has a beast that won first place one time in the carnival. And now we just got into the orbit of Hexion, I believe, and we were ready to land on the planet because the moon had too much toxicity and the creatures may be too toxic for us to handle. The end.
Speak for yourself. Get this wee shit out of here.
Again, as a group.
And I'm saying, as a group, you're misrepresenting me, and I feel like my culture is being stomped on.
Okay.
Alright, so everyone gets 10 XP for that somewhat inaccurate recap.
That was a perfectly accurate one.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so first of all, the archmilitant has a chain fist, not a power fist. So that's
Did I say power? I thought I said
I
chain.
mean, if you want to,
In my head, I said chain.
I mean, the way I see this is that I could always just go pull up the FOD, 10 times speed, easy recap.
In my head, I said chain.
yeah,
but okay.
Then I would have to listen to my own crackly voice, and I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, well.
If you pull that shit, Seth, I'm gonna start deducting XP instead for the recap.
I'll make up for it with Dank Kroot plays, dude. Oh shit. Got my credit card or debit card.
Alright, so last thing we ended on, I do believe, was Gwen going back to the ship after eyeballing the planet real close.
Oh, yeah.
You had located a suitable landing site in the forest, had a clearing large enough for the boat to set down.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there was 3 of them we decided to pick on. It was one near the water, one outside the tree line, and one in the plains.
Yeah, so there are 3 landing sites, one at the beach, basically, one in a clearing in the forest that is large enough to be able to set down the ship, and then there are the rolling plains surrounding the forest, where you can pretty much park anything, because, when I say plains, it might be a bit of an understatement because of the size here, but basically imagine the entirety of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Pretty much
North America?
Pretty much, yeah, the entirety of North America, but pretty much just flat grasslands in the around the middle of the equator, like that kind of size of a plain.
So big plains.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like if we go land in the plains, you can find some dank speed creatures, and I can probably run faster than they can.
We could always send a group out with just a shuttle to look around the plains.
I run faster in the shuttle. Disclaimer: I don't know.
We can
if I
send the
run
crew
fast
out
in
to
the
look for
shuttle.
them while we, stay near the water.
I know this is super random, but I know I run faster than a Baneblade can drive. So that's fun.
I mean, first of all, it's a Baneblade, which is a super heavy tank. So, of course. Secondly, you can only run for a short amount of time before you start getting fatigue. Or have
No,
toughness
yeah,
fatigue.
have to roll. Let's be real.
Yeah, but a Baneblade can go from continent to continent, and you might only be able to run for a couple of hours before you pass out. So get dunked. That, and if you run faster than a Baneblade and pass out, the Baneblade is going to drive over you, not even notice.
Off the Baneblade. Well, actually, you know what? I was going to say, now if they fail their awareness test, but they didn't notice anyway, so.
I mean, they can drive over buildings and not even notice.
That's fair.
But yes, all the sidetracking aside. So you convene in one of the meeting rooms, I suppose, and the information is passed around. So where do you want to land then? You have around the beach area, you have in the forest, you have somewhere on the plains. And all of you are there, plus Tracker, plus Road Trader, plus Astropath.
I think last time we talked about landing on the plains right outside the forest.
Wasn't it the beach was too crowded to build a base right on top of it? We'd have to do it in the forest. The plains were far enough from the water that we would have to trek a little, but it was easier to build a base, and then the plains itself was just the plains. And then we did not choose, I don't believe.
I think my suggestion was to try to pick a location that was close to 2 of the possible terrains. We had choices without having to pick up and move.
Edge of the forest by the plains, then. Anybody else have a suggestion?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think we might as well try that. We don't know really much about this planet yet anyway. So might as well try that, and if it doesn't work, we can come back from another angle.
If we're going to spend time down there, searching especially, I would suggest we get a whole regiment down to start building some kind of temporary shelters.
We don't have any regiments.
Okay, we have people, sorry. Get some voidsmen to build some, what's it called? Some kind of small shelter.
Or we could just drop a couple HAB modules in the course of an hour and be good. That's how we drop the HAB modules instead of building Ooga Booga huts. I mean, if you want to sleep in the hut, go for it. But
all right. So the hunters brought with them some supplies. I do believe I mentioned this last time. Yes.
You didn't.
I was very vague on what they actually brought, but I said they brought supplies. So they have a couple of prefab HAB blocks that you can assemble. Just plunk it down on the planet. We're all good for sleeping quarters.
Did not know we had those.
Unless we've made any changes to the gunnership, I think the gunnership was supposed to be outfitted with individual cabins for enough for us. So the buildings.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do you guys want to just go by ourselves, or do you guys want to get we need the trackers, we need the trainers, and all those.
Yeah.
And we need to get the beast back up. So let's say we're gonna need we're gonna need some people down.
Yeah. I think Gwen wants to sleep on her own ship.
Yeah, I mean, you can sleep on the ship since you are. I mean, does that actually change it? You sleep on the ship, but you're still on Earth. You still have gravity affecting you.
Well, if the ship is on Earth, it would be probably a waste of power to.
I would like to
Gravity.
say, I like to say that frigates don't land like that. So I would assume the frigates stay in orbit unless they have a dry dock to land at.
What frigate?
Our ship.
Our ship's not a frigate.
Fuck you. The ships don't land like that,
The
Urban.
gun cutter that will go down to the planet has quarters.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about the gun
Uh,
cutters, not the actual raider ship that we have.
My Cracula showed up, so I muted my mic.
There you go.
But yeah, so you wanna stay on the gun cutter in the gun cutter. So were you landing on in the forest clearing or on the plains?
Force clearing, right? So, if I remember right, force clearing was somewhere near the plains, but it wasn't near, like, it was between the water and the plains, correct?
Closer to the plains, but
Yeah.
somewhere in between.
So, yeah, that's where we want to land. Because you said we could build, we can set up operations there without hindrance. And if we landed on the beach, we would have to, set up, I believe, in the forest. But I'm not sure.
Hear me out. Giant sandcastle.
I mean, I'm all down with some giant sandcastle. I don't know about anyone else, but I mean, I can dig it.
So, either one is pretty good. I'm up for it. So, if we're in the clearing, we could probably get ambushed easier, which means animals that do ambush are there. So, we can always get those. If we're in the beach, one of our sides is basically always secure.
When you say that, but
unless
you don't
water,
know.
yes.
You don't
Gonna
know.
say.
You don't know if there's shark people in this world.
Sorry, from the land animals.
You don't know if there's amphibious animals in this world. They could be both, dude. You never heard of frogs? Frogs are fucking spooky.
Let's pick a landing site and go down and find out what's there. I think the
I
clearing
second
in the
that.
forest.
Can we have a vote? Clearing or beach?
I'll vote clearing.
I also vote clearing.
Clearing's fine with me.
All right, I think clearing is consensus.
All right. So after a few hours, the first few ships start going down. Landing supplies and material prefab hab blocks are being constructed. Yeah, are you going down with the first wave, or are you hanging back until everything is finished?
I'll go down on the first wave.
I'm also gonna go down just in case anything needs assembling and or fixing up.
Good. We have an IKEA instruction reader. That's fun.
Are we going down as a unit in the cutter, or just randomly riding?
You can drive us if you want. At least me and Mumbo. Sorry. I don't know if Cornelius. Oh no, not Cornelius. Sorry, Maine and Constance wanna come as well on the first wave.
I mean, I might as well. It's not like I'm going to be doing anything else while I wait.
All right. So you take the gun cutter and descend down through the atmosphere once again. This time for the purpose of landing rather than a low flyby. And it's as you remember it last time around. The forest is being foresty with a bunch of leaves. The grass plains are grassy and green, and the water is uncomfortably blue for for water. This type. But yeah, can everyone on the gun cutter roll me an awareness, site-based awareness, as you go
Mhm.
traveling down to the surface?
Yeah, 41 perception. Oh, god damn it.
Well, at least some of us made it.
Give me some of them.
Starting off strong tonight. I like it.
I don't know if you want to call that strong.
I mean, if these rules keep
Passable.
up, I'm gonna have a good time tonight.
Don't count your chickens.
I don't have chickens, so I don't need to count them. But yeah, as you descend through the atmosphere and you look out the various viewports on the gun cutter, you see, first of all, the thing that catches your eye in the far distance as you're traveling down is a some sort of large flying creature that is swiftly moving away from your location as you're burning down through the atmosphere. What that could be, who knows? But there is something flying around at least. Yeah, as you approach the forest and you get a better view of it, you see this expansive forest stretching for roughly 25, 30 miles out from where the inland sea is. And yeah, very tall as you're starting to set down, landing in the clearing. You do see like the trees themselves. Now that you actually have something to compare the scale to, you see these trees are already like 500 meters to a kilometers on top, like from the ground up. So they are absolutely massive trees. And yeah, the forest is pretty much covered in them. Like basically, imagine the biggest oak you have ever seen and then just scale it up a couple of times from there. That's pretty much what this forest is. And you would not be able to drive around in a land vehicle in this forest. That's how dense it is. You can still walk around without too much trouble for the most part, but you would not be able to fit a vehicle other than a bike. Yeah. But yeah, you set down without any problems. You don't have to roll. When you don't have to roll for landing, there is no nonsense going on in the atmosphere and such. So you set down without any problems. And yeah, as you set down on the ground and the landing ramp, landing gear hits the ground, and the ramp descends, hits the ground. You see outside for the first time this dark and brooding forest surrounding you. And as you step out onto the ground, onto the planet itself, there's a biting cold gale blowing through the forest. And you hear the sound of various smaller animals around the ship as the engine winds down. And true to form, the gun cutter scorches the earth and set off a small forest fire. Easily contained, mind you, so you don't have to worry too much about it.
Looks like we've landed.
Yeah, I think as the rest of you start disembarking, the rogue trader and the astropath and a couple of armsmen walks down the ramp. And yeah, same thing as before. Rogue trader in her uniform, like admiral's uniform, and the commissar hat, with obnoxious amount of medals everywhere for no real reason. Finds a spot on the clearing where the light shines just right, and she plants a flag in the ground with the dynasty color and the heraldry, and strikes a heroic pose. And one of the armsmen kneels down in front of her with a picture and snaps a couple of PR pictures. And after and this happens as you're disembarking. And after the pictures are taken, she hands off the flag to one of the other armsmen, and they just stash everything back on the ship, on the gun catcher again. And the rogue trader and the astropath is just looking at you expectantly as they're looking around as well, seeing what's going on.
All right, I'm gonna disembark and just go walk around the immediate area. Yeah.
We secure the immediate area and
Oh no, I didn't
start
say
building.
secures. I mean, that's for lesser people.
Yeah, we secure the area and then start building. Okay, they start building. I mean, we can let them, secure, and we can do nothing.
While I'm doing, I'm gonna point around, tell people to continue doing their job with a very authoritarian way, just because why not?
Can I take a look around the campsite and see if I can find any animal trails, like using a tracking roll or something like that?
And we have a tracker, I believe. We can take him.
All right, if you want to look for tracks and such, you can do that.
Yeah,
Can we
not much
ask our
luck there.
tracker to also look for tracks, or maybe he has an idea which way we should go?
Y'all eat shit. I'm gonna actually roll tracking because I have trained tracking.
Well, ain't you fancy? Well, that's a success, even though I'm not impressed by it. All right, Seth, because you rolled the thing, let me tell you this, right? You roll me a D100, please, first of all. All right. You do find some tracks that isn't like small, minuscule creatures. That doesn't really matter. So yeah, you do find a set of tracks leading off in some direction, probably to the east of you.
Can we get our professional tracker to see if those tracks are important or not?
I mean, I haven't shared this information.
The Crute is as close to the professionals as you know, at least, because you know Crutes.
Yeah, but we have an actual professional tracker, Sarge.
And I'm literally the predator, so eat the dick.
Just put some salt on it first. Probably tastes better. But yes, yeah, you do find some those hoofed tracks leading to the east of you, and you know that's the direction the planes go. They seem to be comparable in size with man's boot prints, like a grown adult man's boot print. Like the hell do the Americans have shoe size wise? Is it 10 or 14?
10 would be like a teenage boy. Adults, I think, usually wear anywhere between like a 12 and a 14.
Yeah, so probably like size 13 boots and a hoof print.
All right, I want to fox the rogue trader and ask for permission to go for reconnaissance. Also, Dink stops its eye.
I Dank stop.
She just looks over your shoulder and makes a dismissive hand motion. So you can
All right.
interpret that as a GTFO and do what you're paid to do.
I'm gonna go Sonic off into the distance.
All right, you all see the Kroot, or maybe you don't see the Kroot leap off into the distance, possibly never to be seen again. Who knows? We'll find out next time on Rogue Trader.
Well, there he goes. Back to his home.
We're in a better place now. But yeah, the rest of you disembark as well. The rest of the
Where are we going?
that was hanging out in the gun cutter disembark as well. And while the rest of you standing around, looking somewhat perplexed by the crew just ran off somewhere, the other armsmen starts setting up and securing the immediate area. And yeah, overhead, after a brief moment, probably like 10, 15 minutes or so, another shuttle starts, you hear the thunderous roar of thrusters as another shuttle comes in and lands in the clearing a bit away from you. And yeah, as the ramp lowers, the Sarge teams and a bunch of armsmen disembarks from that, and yeah, they start setting up the prefab blocks, and Sarge team assembles and start investigating the immediate area as well, while Sarge walks over to your group.
Oh,
So,
Sarge.
I want to ask Gwen about something.
Yes.
I know you told the crew and the key members of the ship that you were a unsanctioned psyche, right? Did you also mention this to the tracker, to Sergeant, when you met him, or did you keep that quiet?
I don't think she'd announce that. She won't deny it if it's kind of obvious, but
All right.
she's not going to walk up and announce, "Hi, I'm Gwen. I'll be your pilot and your unsanctioned psyker today."
That's probably for the best to not get a bolt round in the back of the head.
But see, now she's at risk of getting a bolt gun.
Speak for yourself, Blob Boy.
It's Warhammer 40k. Everyone is at risk of getting a bolt gun to the back of the face.
Back of the face? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes through your skull and, back of the face. Makes logical sense.
It's Warhammer, of course it does.
Besides, do they know you're unsanctioned unless they demand papers and you don't produce them?
Oh shit! I left my green card in my other pants.
That's a good point.
Like, that's a question for the Lord Trader.
That's a good point. But yeah, Sarge comes up, gives you all a nod, says, I'll let the trackers do their thing, see if they can find anything. The rest of us will secure the immediate area. Make sure that we can set up a proper defensive position here.
Sounds good.
If I don't have any assigned duties, I'll just move around the clearing, staying out of people's ways. Just get familiar with the area and take a look.
All right.
I get my backpack loaded up with supplies and start getting prepared as well in my ship.
Good times.
All right, so I'm gonna fast forward this a bit. Roughly 3 hours later, and from the moment Charles touched down, you have a passable block unit up and running. You can lounge around in that, where some of the crew will be staying. And yeah, roughly 3 hours after that, so 6 hours total, 2 prefab hab blocks have been set up properly, and yeah, a defensible perimeter.
And we asked Sarge if his trackers found anything, any good leads.
That is an excellent question.
Because they've had 6 hours to look, as you stated.
Yeah, so he, when you ask, he periodically reports back over the next 6 hours or so that they have found 4 sets of interesting tracks in the immediate area.
Can you tell us what's so interesting about them? What kind of prints?
The only thing he can tell you for certain is that they're large enough to be worth hunting.
Okay.
Other than that, impossible to tell. It could be a carnivore with hooves, or could be a herbivore with paws. Never be too sure with Xenos.
Do we know which way they're going? The tracks?
Spread out in various directions, so it's gonna take a bit of time before they can find anything. But yeah, you have one going north, one to west. I think the crew followed. Then 2 towards the south, which is the lake.
I do think the tracker who filled this role is just following my
East.
footprints.
I assume east is towards the water, right? If west is towards the plains.
But the crew went east towards the plain.
Yeah, so the water would be west.
The water is south.
The water south.
Yes.
All right. So 2 sets of prints going towards the water, 1 towards the plains, and 1 away towards, I guess, the forest.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you guys think? About the 2 that are going towards the water, maybe? That's 2 chances that we might be able to find something good.
Yeah, might as well head that way.
We don't want to follow Cons. We might have to actually pull his tail feathers out of trouble.
So I think as you're having this impromptu meeting for when discussing what to do, I think Sarge looks at the group of you and asks, so how much experience do you all have with tracking and hunting?
I bought bolas. That's about all I know.
Except for the crew, who's already taken off on his own.
Yeah.
I'm better than the average person with tracking, but I've never hunted anything like this before.
I've never hunted the animal kind. Only humans, which you could say they are a different breed of animal.
I mean, I've got survival, but not really hunting in particular.
Yeah, I've only hunted humans and humanoid creatures.
As
No
you
beasts.
as you tell him this, you see him with one hand with his phone chucked into his belt in front of him. The other hand is scratching his chin and stroking his beard absent-mindedly while he listens to what you're all telling him.
We hired you for a reason.
He says, I don't mean to be insensitive to your particular inclinations, but it might be best if you let my people do the actual tracking.
I don't think any of us would disagree.
Yeah, that might be best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we could do it ourselves, we wouldn't have had to hire him.
Tracker.
What would you like us to do to assist your efforts?
Right now, just stay put here. Make as little noise as possible, and if I may be so bold to say, stay out of our way. We will let you know when we find something worth hunting. Then we can convene on that location.
Like stand that.
And yeah, if there is nothing further, he gives you all a nod and walks off. Barks out some order to all the remaining hunters that have been lounging around for a bit in their area of the camp. Yeah, during this 6 hours that you have been hanging out here, Rootman, how hard are you going on this trail before you give up? Are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now we
Yes,
can.
yeah.
Now we can.
What the hell? Give me up for the week.
Sorry, what did you say now?
Give me up for the week. I mean, it's only 6 hours of running.
All right, but are you gonna keep following this trail all the way?
Yeah, I
Or
said I was going on reconnaissance. I'm gonna go recon some shit.
All right, what's your movement speed?
If I'm not breaking through 30 meters for run. If I am sprinting, 60.
All right, so someone who does the math, if you can run full 60 every turn, which is 6 seconds, I do believe. So that's a lot of meters in a lot of minutes.
600 in a
lot of-
minute.
Yeah, so 6 kilometers an hour then.
No, that's
Fucking math.
36,000 meters. So 36 kilometers an hour if he's full sprinting.
Can he sustain a sprint?
Yeah, I don't know if he can sustain an hour of sprinting, but if he does sustain at 60, every 6 seconds, it would be 36,000. Sorry, 36 kilometers. So 36,000 meters. I don't know, when he fatigues.
Fatigue is overrated. And honestly, it wouldn't be much shorter. It would be like mental math.
No, you run a considerable amount of time. Let's just say that. And yeah, you run. I think at this point, because the forest clearing is close enough to the edge that by the end of the 6 hours, you have exited the forest, and yeah, the tracks, where you are. Can you roll me another tracking, please? If
Can
you
he
keep
track
up.
while sprinting, while running?
If you can see the trails clear enough, you might have to slow down at times to actually have a look. Move a bush or something aside just to see the track. But yeah, you keep going, and yeah, you follow the tracks out on the plains. You see them in the tall grass. You see the disturbance in the grass where an animal has been moving.
All right. So I want to sneak up on this animal.
Right. So, but roughly, if you were to do that and you kept sprinting the entire time, by the like a quarter of the way into the second hour, where the others was just hanging out waiting for the shelter to be built, you exit the forest and you are now in the plains. Okay, in the distance you see a larger creature.
I want to sneak up and get that dank better view of what the hell the thing is.
Is he fatigued at all?
Nope, because I rules lawyered it. So no, I'm not.
I mean, I can't argue with that logic. So, yeah, give me a concealed test and violent move as well. I'll give you what would be high grass plus 20 for the conceal, and minus 10 for the move silently.
You said minus 10 per move silently?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, it's a +0.
Alright, you stealth like an absolute boss towards this large creature.
Awesome. What is it like what does it look like and stuff? Oh shit, rolls.
Rolls indeed. But yeah, you beat it with a large enough margin that it doesn't see you and it doesn't hear you, so it's just standing there happily chewing on some plants. Yeah, you go close enough to it that you are within charging range when you sit down a bit and just look at it. And let me just open my notes here because I had.
I don't know if you created the creatures already, Hellforge. I have a list that I wrote down if you want me to create some.
I don't like this. This is where did you get this list?
From the Corona's bestiary.
All right, just wanted to make sure that you didn't try to pull it from a random spreadsheet off the internet.
Nope, just bestiary. I just have the pages that are important cut out, basically. Instead of having every single page in the thing, I just have the ones with, the list of different traits the creatures might have.
Right, so imagine, if you will, a gazelle, as you would called.
All right, I'm following.
Actual animal, not the bloody sneakers. But yes, imagine one of those, but with more fur on them. Because again, it's biting cold here. Like there is no in the plains more so than in the forest. There is literally nothing that breaks the airflow. So it's just biting cold air, just flowing at pretty high speeds at time. You see the grass rustling around you, and yeah, this gazelle-like creature, to give you the mental image of it. It's a bit larger, like I said, size 12 or size 14, hoof prints. And yeah, you see the antlers sweeping back, curving back behind the head. And it has basically the gazelle-like shape with musk ox kind of fur to it, long and shaggy fur on it. So that's the creature you see, and it seems completely unaware of your presence right now.
Are there any other creatures around?
And yeah, one thing you do realize as well is that if you were to stand, the back of this creature would be roughly like shoulder height to how tall you are.
Oh shit, this thing is like really fucking big.
Hulking or normal?
Well, to put it this way, I'm 7'10", and if it's shoulder height, it's like its back is at about like 7'5", 7'6".
Yeah, you do see there are the other creatures with it as well, so 4 total in a small pack hanging out. But you only saw the trails from this creature.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, does he know if what kind of creature it is? Predator, a herd, or scavenge or anything, or just
You have
Well,
none of you have any idea what this creature is, but by the looks of it, it's chewing on plants. So that's pretty much all you know, and it has good cover from the piercing cold.
all right. Can I roll wrangling to jump from the bush and go full cowboy?
Wait, hold on, back it up a bit. You want to, if I understand this correctly, just walk me through this. You want to charge the creature from concealment, get on
Mhm.
top of it, and wrangle it.
While there's 3 other guys
Yes.
here.
This sounds dumb enough that it might actually work. So yes, I will allow that.
You want to spend a fate point for 10 plus 10 or no?
So first of all, I need you to do me a weapon skill to grapple it. And if you succeed in the grapple, I will allow you to be on top of it and wrangle it, or attempt to wrangle it.
Feels bad, man.
You can re-roll it.
Yeah, or I could not and save it for things that are considerably better to reroll.
How's that? I'm just letting you know.
All right, so you leap out of concealment, and you manage to land on top of it, but you cannot really bring it out of control. And the moment you hit the side of it, it starts bucking and making this high-pitched, screeching noises at you,
Please
and
tell me if I
attempts to throw you off.
All right, I want to bite it. I want to poison this motherfucker.
All right. Yeah, you see that it's pretty spooked right now. Not happy with at all with your invading its private space. Yeah, make your beak attack and see if you can hit it.
dodge.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, I do believe that's a success. I failure. So yeah, roll damage to it.
Takes wound damage. It gets that dank plus 10 for toxic.
Yeah, I do believe it takes some damage at least. Doesn't have all that much toughness, and it certainly doesn't have armor.
That's the additional toxic damage. How does it respond to getting Krook beak to the back?
Yeah, as you peck at it with your beak, you can see that you tear a deep gorge in the side of it, and yeah, it seems really messed up, like possibly on the verge of just dying outright from this grievous wound to the chest or to the side where the heart is. And you expose some of the insides, and you can just feel as your beak rending through the flesh, and you can feel the tasty blood inside it, and you can feel the heart pumping frantically in panic state.
I want to do it again, but I want to hit the exact same place I just hit. Stick my beak deeper and I keep eating.
We have minus 20 for cold shot. Oh, can he do that with melee weapons? A cold
I
shot?
never said it was a cold shot. This is just RP stuff.
I mean, wouldn't it be
Yeah,
a
so-
cold location or something?
Yeah, so roll to hit again. See if you can. Try. Yeah, it's still, it's fucking frantically trying to throw you off, but you're still hanging in there. So yeah, dude.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah, it's dead.
No, I want to roll the crit just for the hell of it. Never mind.
No crit. But yeah, it had what 17 out of 21. So yeah, five toughness. Yeah, you absolutely murdered that. You next attack just peck through the chest and the rib cage, just rip the heart to shreds. Yeah, it topples over. Tell you what's up. Just for the lols, roll me a D2, or sorry, a D10, please. And if it's even, it lands on the left. If it's uneven, it lands to the right. All right, cool. So it doesn't crush you. Actually, no. Let me roll this for good measure.
I mean, I got that think unnatural strength. I could probably get it off.
All right. So even if it's even, you don't get crushed. If it's uneven, it lands on you and it falls.
It lands on him.
All right. So it doesn't land on you.
Oh, sorry. The D2. I think you're talking about the D10.
All right. In that case, now that it's dead, I'm assuming all the others ran off.
Oh no. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
While he's doing that, can we start heading towards, a creature we can actually capture and not kill?
I mean, I have a plan. I just didn't share my plan because I'm not anywhere near the base.
We were asked by the consultant to just sit and wait till the trackers actually find something
Yeah,
worth
so that's,
chasing.
did they by any chance find something?
Agility is 5. I win.
Yeah, you win this encounter. And there's on the bigger of the 3 remaining stays, and the other 2 smaller one they run off somewhere in the distance. Right, so you have the initiative then. As you see, one of the other creatures were up to face you. And what's your charge distance?
15 meters.
Yeah, you're probably within charging distance at least. And this is happening for the rest of you. This is happening like roughly 2 hours or close to 2 hours after he went away, like ran off. So you were still sitting around the camp, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the first prefab building to be raised. All right, so what do you want to do then? You have one of these creatures hanging out next to you.
I want to charge him and hit him with my crude rifle.
Go for it.
And that's, let's see, charge is a plus 20, right? Or is that plus 10?
It's plus 10 as traffic. Traffic is charge or plus 10 or plus 20?
Charge is plus 10.
There you go.
So plus 10 for charge, plus 10 for size.
All right, so negative 0.1.
Cool. Yeah, so you run up to it and try to smack it. But yeah, it just sidesteps you, which is a bit of impressive nonsense, seeing as how large it is. We're just gonna try to gouge you with its horns. It absolutely failed. Yeah, you dodge out of the way nimbly, or actually it tries to hit because you have the hollow field around you, so it probably stabs at that, but doesn't do anything to you.
All right, I wanna go for a dink. I wanna go for that dink croup rifle hit again. God damn it!
Is this gonna be one of these sessions?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think so.
Right. So the creatures. Do you want to do anything else with that?
No.
I do believe you have a half actions.
Yeah, but I already took the attack action. I can't think of anything else.
So it's getting increasingly angry at this, brutish nonsense that it has to deal with. So it's gonna do an all-out attack. See if it can stab you in the face. God damn it! Oh, it again stabs at the hollow projection.
I want to roll to grapple and then wrangle.
So grapple, I do believe, is an opposed strength test.
Hell yeah. So because we're just doing it based off of degrees of success, then we just add a plus 20 in the modifier. Because I have a natural strength too.
No, so how that works is you double success, not add anything
Alright.
to the modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with 4 degrees of success, 4.9 even, you manage to subdue or grapple the creature. And it's screeching at you right now, trying to throw you off, but yeah, you're holding firm there.
Alright, I'm gonna use a fate point to add plus 10 to my wrangle roll.
And have a quick look at Wrangle, because I don't think I've ever used this skill or seen it used before.
I can change the deposition, change by 1 level for every 2 degrees of success, up to 3 maximum, up to a maximum of 3 levels by a full action use of this skill. GMs impose penalties. Yeah. On page 88 in the core book.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. So it would be hostile towards you to begin with. And how many degrees did you have?
3.5.
All right. So for every 2, you need to look up but I think it's still like untrusting of you, but it's not outright gonna murder you the moment you climb off. All right, so yeah, you take a bit of a wrestling match here and there, but you eventually, after some time and physical exertion, manage to make it at least not try to murder you. Probably takes you a good 10 minutes or so, just trying to calm it down enough that not gonna stomp on you.
All right.
Still doesn't trust you, but it's not gonna actively murder you. Is all we can hope for at this stage.
So this is gonna be really weird, but just hear me out. Can I take my crude leathers that I wear over my hollow suit, take them off, fashion some rope from them, tie the dead body to the one I just wrangled, and then tie a harness like a leash to the one that I wrangled, and use it to pull the dead body back to the base?
So you want to basically strip your crude leather in order to fashion a harness and a leash.
Yes.
I don't know if you're wearing that much leather.
I'm 8 feet tall. All right.
Their
Pants
backs
for
are just
me
as
are
long
very
as you.
pants for me are very different than pants for you. And I'm not making a saddle. I'm making basically 2 pieces of rope.
Again, that would require you to, put it around the creature, and then from
Tell
the
you
creature
what.
to the other creature.
Tell you what, roll me a survival. -10 survival, and if you can do it.
I do not have survival. I actually got rid of it. I switched out to agility when I was thinking, like doing my stuff last session. Like when I was spending my XP. I was going to do survival, but I decided to do a agility bonus instead. I don't have survival.
Right, and it's an advance, so you can't do it. It's unfortunate in this situation where it would have come in handy.
All right. In that case, the one that I just got to chill, I just want to ride that shit back to base. I don't care if it trusts me or not. I'll eat it if it doesn't.
Oh shit, that's brave of you. Yeah, I do believe for convenient plot reason, how fast do you make this thing go? Like, do you push it to the limit, or do you just let it go in its own pace and give it a gentle poke when it stops?
Like go at its own pace and give it a seductively strange whisper to the ear every time it slows down.
Right? Yeah, for convenient plot reasons, you arrive roughly at around the time when the second half block is raised. So yeah, the rest of you, as the hunt master in charge, tells you to basically sit and twiddle your thumbs and not get in the way. You all disperse to your various places of convenience, and you see the Kroot riding a majestic beast into the campsite again, returning after roughly 6 hours of absence.
How much toughness bonus do these things have, by the way?
5.
Awesome. All right. I ride in and ignore the tracker and stuff and get to the trader and tell her that I have returned and I have brought dinner instead of these shitty rations.
The side eyes the beast, gives you an approving nod.
All right. Is there any distinctive features about this thing that might be important as far as like predator, like fighty beast?
I mean, it has sharp horns or sharp antlers, and it also has the hooves.
All right, I want to take someone's frag grenade, stick it in the thing's mouth, blow up its head, and then feed it to everyone.
What the hell?
What? It's not useful. We can eat it.
I mean, that's fine. If that's what you do, that's what you do. So yeah, you stick a couple of frag grenades in his mouth. So yeah, mark off 2 frag grenades, I do believe.
They're common, or well, no, they're rare. Never mind. That case,
Frag grenades are common. You just have to bring them with you if you.
I mean, does no one on the base just have some frag grenades that can acquiesce this first officer?
I
No,
may.
you have a couple of people just toss some frag grenades your way.
Somebody could just shoot it.
We're going with efficient.
That's not efficient. That's messy.
I mean, that's why I have my 2 crew that are still chilling on the ship. I can just bring them down and have them lick everything up. It's great.
All right, so before anything else, before anyone can stop him, because apparently he thought this was a great idea, he rams 2 frag grenades inside the mouth
Wait,
of the creature.
Can we say this? He is next to the rogue trader at the moment with the creature.
Are you next to the rogue trader when you do this?
I'm not stupid. I wouldn't park the creature right next to the rogue trader. It's probably a couple meters away.
Couple of meters.
Well, again, if we're gonna rule flare, this frag grenades have blast 3, so if she's more than 3 meters away, it doesn't matter.
I was thinking more about the blood and the gore.
I mean, blast 3. So.
But she also, after she looked at you and looked at the creature, she walked away again.
So yeah, let's blow this shit up.
This does not require her attention beneath her station. Yeah, you slam some frag grenades in the mouth of the creature, and yeah, roll me. Actually, you don't even have to roll anything. Yeah, the head explodes, taking with it most of the upper body because of the size, the blast radius. But yeah, you have like stomach and like half stomach and the leg bits, back, hind legs, hind quarters. And you have half a creature to eat.
All right. I'm gonna take some of my own meat and then find the poor chef who has to cook the rest of this for the crew, and give him the body.
Yeah, as the sound of detonation fades, there is a lot of people giving you very strange looks before they return to whatever they were doing at the time.
I did have organ grinder rounds. We could have made some soup, some meaty soup or stew.
Yeah, the chef gives you like a quiet sigh when you bring out like half the creature, but he sets to work cooking it up, carving it out and cooking it.
All right. In that case, after getting my dinner, I just kind of sit down with a haunch of a leg with the rest of the crew, and just have dinner after a day's
If all
work.
of you would be okay with it, could we take like a quick 5-minute break or something? I need to get a glass of water or something.
Sure.
From my throat.
All right, I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
bio break. I'll be right back.
All right.
Sounds good.
I'm back. So traffic.
Yeah.
How has the Medea chess hunting been going?
Not too bad. In like 4-ish, maybe 5 hours total of doing it semi-casually, I've gotten 60, 70 hearts.
Nice.
Got 2 tree belts from golden chests that I made. Blew up on a 28 stack.
I take it that's what the treasure map pieces are for, is making golden chests.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I haven't actually logged in for like a week and a half.
I've also gotten 71 cronstones.
Nice. Saving them up for dank gear attempts or what?
Originally, I was going to do cron 10 attempts on my 115 stack, but then I thought max odds for pen starts at 124. So if I just save up cronstones, then I can do cron pen attempts on a pretty decent stack. Because it's like at 115, I think it's like a almost 18% chance.
You're playing a dangerous game, traffic. Don't get baited.
After I sell all my crates, I'll have about 1 billion.
That's
So
fair.
with the chest event and all the silver I make from my crates, I could either do the smart thing and work on my backup tree armor, or I could do a pen dandy attempt.
That's fair.
I mean, it's 8 AP. Come on now.
More importantly, it's something to brag about, though.
No one brags about a fucking Tetri armor,
Exactly.
but a
Just
pen
you-
dandy.
every time Meatcroft shows up and he links his bullshit necklace, you can link your pin dandy, and it's like, that's a nice necklace, but it's a pin dandy.
Every time he links that fucking Vel's heart, but do you have this? My renown score is at 534, and the next tier starts at 535. So I'm gonna try and use the Kaffir stones to get level 1 on my dandy and see if the 1 AP I get from it boosts me up to it. Because it'll put me at 534.5. So I'm wondering if it'll round it up and count, or if it'll just stay 534.
I don't know.
If not, I'll have, because it takes 180 Kaffras. So if not, I'll have to get another 180 from my Zarka.
I mean, it sounds like a lot, but honestly, I think I usually pull down 5 to 10 every time I go and spend 180 energy at Haven, like Pilgrim's Haven. So it's not actually, that's like what, maybe like a week or two of gathering, maybe less if you were to be on that shit and like sleep in beds and stuff.
It's even better if you just do the chests. I've gotten 27 Kaffras and 430 of the powder.
Damn, that's pretty good. That's almost 100 extra Kaffras from the powder.
Yeah. It's what, 86?
What I think is hilarious, all of my advanced skills are all 30 because they're all intelligent space advanced skills. For that, I think Hellforge misjudged how dank my concealment is. I get a plus 10 for being in the wilds, as it were. And I have a base 50 concealment.
Sorry for the break. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Can you hear me at all? Like, is the quality any better, or is it?
It's a lot better than
down
last
the
time.
drain?
I haven't heard any popping since, but also we did that subsystem switch, so
Yeah, and I also switched the Bloodies over to East Coast as well.
That
Oh,
might
shit.
be-
we can we'll probably figure out next Saturday during the only war session, because next Saturday should be a clear Saturday. I'll have to double check, but we can go till whenever. I mean, I don't plan to go like an 8-hour session, but a bit longer than the last one. And Tick is from Norway, so he'll definitely be able to. He would probably be the one to ask if there was a quality loss.
Fucking Norway.
I mean, can't you tell by that super strong Norwegian accent?
No, because I'm notoriously terrible with accents.
That's fair. Honestly, he doesn't really have a very stereotypical Norwegian accent. He doesn't speak the but I'm trying to think what the Norwegian version of Swinglish would be.
It would be shit, honestly.
That's fair. He's I think I know Dank is from like Wisconsin or some shit, so he's also he's up in the Northeast, so I don't know. But yeah, me and him will have a decent quality. I mean, you sound good right now to me, so you'll probably have a decent quality. So we'll just see if Tick gets shit on by the server change or not.
But yeah, are we all here still? Or did someone leave?
I'm still here. I'm just being quiet.
I was just talking to traffic unless he swooshed out of the shit before you came back.
Typical traffic.
I've been sitting here the whole time.
God damn it. What is with you and your ninja skills?
He's mastered the art of moving so slowly you can't perceive his movements at all.
Is Mombo here still?
I would think not. I think he went to go get coffee and probably realized his coffee pot is empty, so
can
he
you hear
brewed
me?
a pot.
Yeah, that's what I did as well.
Oh, I've been talking, but I didn't realize I was muted in Discord.
Dunk.
Oops. Think I've done that.
Apparently, when I click on Streamlabs, it mutes me in Discord, so that's fun.
I
Oh.
mean, who needs Discord anyway?
Yeah. We'll just do play by post.
No, please no.
I did that play by post once. Never again.
Actual physical post is even worse. You have to wait a week
Yeah.
before the letters arrive.
It was a forum play by post, and the thing that made it so shitty wasn't that it was a play by post, but the guy who was running it was trying to basically do a play by post MMO. Like, it wasn't a party, it was just everyone kind of all in the same general area doing their own thing. Sometimes it was weird.
Yeah, no, just no. But yeah, I think everyone who's actually back at the base after being told to not do anything during this supposing 6-hour gap or 5-hour gap maybe. Can you all be so kind of roll me a site-based awareness?
I want to fate point that.
No, save your fate point. This happens at base while you are away hunting this thing.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
never mind.
others.
We
Gotcha.
went there. And I specifically wandering around looking at stuff.
Okay.
But not tracking. Because I don't have it.
One of those nights yet again.
Wonderful. And so over the course of the next 5, 6 hours, Gwen and Main, both of you notice there is over the base there is some large flying bird creatures flying in the sky that seems to be hovering around the general area where the rest of the people are setting up base.
I'm going to get Sarge's attention and ask him a question.
Yep.
Are those predatory birds and we look like lunch?
Yeah, as you point them out to him, looks up and yeah, specifically looks at him for a bit. He calls one of the other hunters over. Actually, he calls another person over, not one of the hunters, because they all have like distinct uniforms. All the hunters have a distinct uniform, type of camouflage that they wear. But yeah, this man that comes over is probably like, you know, roughly like 5. God, this whole feet nonsense. I don't know how you Americans do it.
Say how
Um,
tall he is in your.
Just use meters.
Yeah, it's like roughly 174 or something. So a bit shorter than average.
Yeah, about
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, he comes up and he's wearing bulky armor like the rest of them, but he seemed to be this person seemed to be more cybernetically enhanced than the rest of them. And yeah, he looks up as Sarge points at him at the creatures above, and you hear if you're standing close enough, you hear the sound of cybernetics, the servos in them as his augmented eyes adjust and zoom in, focus on them. And what were you asking? If they were
If
carnivores?
they're predatory birds, and if, like, what are they watching us as potential prey? Not my plan to get eaten today.
I mean, we have. I don't think we should be worried too much about getting eaten because we want things that want to eat us. Because those will be the good kind of creatures.
And what are the smallest bodies in this clearing?
Yeah, but you can
Alright,
just stand behind all of us.
So you say that, Erden. I have the hive tyrant. I mean, hive tyrants like to eat stuff. I mean, I have it bookmarked for later use my only war game. I can pull it up real quick.
Sure, if you want to
Well,
use Hive Tire.
Do that
Next
later.
time you're a GM.
This is not a hive tyrant flying, so we can all be sure about that. But yeah, the man who is looking intently up at the sky for a moment, and Maine, you might be, if you want, you can be close enough to hear. The rest of you as well can be close enough to hear this. If Gwen wasn't moving off, somewhere to have a private conversation. But yeah, the man says we don't have a name for them, but they hunt living prey, and these creatures, they specialize in diving from high altitudes to catch the prey off guard. They shouldn't be a problem for us right now because of the size, they can't really maneuver down here in the trees. But if we stay in the open for too long, they might catch us.
We need to be watchful for death from above anytime we're out of cover.
That would be my assumption.
Sounds good.
Yes.
How big are these birds?
They would be considered hulking, and you probably saw one or two flying around as you were coming back to the towards.
Oh, those are the
campus
ones
again.
we saw. Okay.
All right. The reason I ask is because I think I don't know. I don't think I'm considered Hulk King, so they're a bit bigger than I am.
I think to them, Hans and Gwen are not that big a difference. Sizing up prey.
I mean, they're all tasty meals. And yeah, it's a bit difficult to tell, like, the distinct shape of it, but it seems to be like even this, like a teardrop shape, maybe like inverted teardrop. So the tail end of the creature is like pretty thin, or fins out rather than the front of it is round where the wings are.
Something like a trilobite. Flying.
Maybe.
I mean,
that's what
never
you
mind.
see. That's what you see in the distance flying above you. There's a couple of them. Yeah, flying back and forth. Counts you can see probably like 5 or 6 total, spanning like a couple of kilometers, circling around the area. But they haven't made any moves to dive in yet. So. Right, can someone who feels particularly brave roll me a d24, please?
D24?
All right, so Hans, by the time you come back to the camp and you blow up the creature you found, it is roughly 10 in the evening, and the only light you have in the camp is the campfire and the lighting that are guarding the perimeter, basically, you find in camp. And yeah, as the night rolls in, the temperature starts dropping even more than before. It's not freezing yet, but it's definitely like uncomfortable to the bordering on the extremely uncomfortable if you don't have some warm clothes on. So no shirtless montage of the dock. Yeah, my question to you as a party: do you want to go out? Do you want to just hang out in camp for the night, or do you want to go out in search of prey?
I want to sleep in my nice warm bunk in my gun cutter.
I'm up for either.
Yeah, I can't see in the dark, so I'm opting for staying home during the night.
I mean, well, they all sat around the base. I wouldn't get dinner, so I'm gonna chill and have my damn dinner.
Yeah, do you eat it raw, or do you cook it first?
Raw, of course.
Yeah, so you get the bonuses for it. Right. So the night rolls in uneventful and fresh in the morning with a hot recap of the stove. You all convene after breakfast, I do believe, and or around breakfast, I suppose. And yeah, you see Sarge come walking up to the table where you're sitting, and he holds a data slate in his hand and he puts it down, and without even like, he just gives you all a nod of good morning, the acknowledgement, and then he says without anything else, he just puts it down on the map, puts it down on the table so you all can see it. And he points at the map, which a couple of kilometers away from your current location, and he says that we have found a suitable creature. The tracker found them where they're nesting, or where they're sleeping during the day. So whenever you're ready, pack your things. We can get off.
All right, I grab my recruit fanny pack and head up and recruit fanny pack and my recruit rifle.
We'll grab supplies, whatever the had recommended we put together. Mine doesn't touch.
I'll grab my backpack that I prepared.
All right. Yeah, so once you all finish getting ready, you set off again. And yeah, the rogue trader and Astropath hangs back in camp with a couple of other horsemen, and all of you go do your thing while they're busy doing something else. And you also notice once you leave camp, or when you're leaving camp rather, most of the trackers, like all the trackers are gone, and most of the hunters are gone as well. So the ones that are left are the trainers and the two other specialists that they have with them. Those are the 5 that stays back in camp, and then the rest of them are out doing something else. And yeah, you will go with Sarge, one of the trackers, and 2 hunters, I think.
Sounds good. Let's head out.
So I do believe there is a role for this as well. So rough terrain is just so because there is no real penalty for failing this. I'm not gonna make you roll toughness or anything for moving through rough terrain. And
Well, never mind. I was gonna say, since I treat rough terrain, stuff like jungle, forest, and other similar environments as open. But
yeah, but right now at least there is no downside to failing it, so it doesn't matter. It's if you're trying to blindly flee in Tarot, for example, then it might come into issue or become an issue because survival instinct and all that good stuff. Okay, you advance forest. It's pretty thick, and as you're walking a group more or less, and you have the tracker, one of the trackers in front with one of the hunters. Sarge is moving with your group, and then we'll have one of the hunters behind you in formation. Can you all give me awareness, please? Awareness roll. See if you notice anything as you're walking.
how would this be sight or hearing?
I do believe this would be sight first of all.
I'm not
Can
seeing
I roll my
anything
server
but
skulls?
the Kroot's ass.
That
And my
is
server skull also roll awareness.
Yeah, sure. If you
This is mine. And let me roll my server skull. Okay. Neither of us can see anything.
I mean, Cornelius got a pretty good awareness roll. I don't know,
Sorry, there weren't any positives or negatives on that awareness, were there? It was just sight based.
yeah, sight based. So if you have anything like that.
Okay, yeah, it should be correct then.
Yeah, so as you're walking through the forest, you see there is a lot of, like, the deeper in you go, the more the light starts fading, like the sunlight, the bright sunlight doesn't penetrate some of the thicker groves here in the forest. And yeah, the shadows, as the deeper you go from the camp, the darker the shadows become, darker and more menacing the shadows become. And the sound of the forest, increases with the little critters that live there. The birds chirping, the squirrels, throwing acorns at each other, out of pure spite, all the good stuff. And yeah, you walk into a cluster of trees, a bit of a clearing, maybe, or an area where there aren't any trees really. There's still like underbrush and all, like a lot of knee-high brushes maybe, and a couple of logs that have fallen over. And yeah, there's a small pool of water here as well. Maybe like hip deep for a normal person if they were to stand in it. And there is some leaves floating on the surface, and a log half submerged on one of the edge of this pool. Probably like 5 by 10 or something like that. Natural shape, looks just like a small crater that has been filled with rainwater, rather than something constructed. And yeah, I do believe, you've probably been walking for maybe like, because the forest is dense. I think the Kroot is the only one who is not struggling in some capacity or other, and just casually strolling through the woods like it's nobody's business, kind of thing. I think Large holds up a hand to get everyone to stop, and you take a short break here. And yeah, the two hunters and the tracker sits down on one of the logs and rock, just cracking open some ration packs, just having a quiet look. Yeah, Cornelius, you see in the distance, maybe like 20 meters or so away from you, there is this large rock formation, probably like a good 10 or so meters large, or high rather. Massive boulder size thing. Just chilling out in the forest, doing nothing in particular, just hanging out, being a rock. That's one do.
A rock being a rock.
It looks like a normal rock to me, other than it being really big, I assume.
So with that roll of yours, I would say you notice something peculiar about it. Something the light catches in a way that is not really normal for a normal rock to do.
And a rock creatures can exist, so.
All right. So it basically has some sort of reflection that I'm not used to seeing from a normal boulder.
Pretty much.
Okay, so how far away is the rock from me?
Roughly like 20 or so meters.
All right. So I'm going to point it out to everyone around me and say, "Yeah, I don't know why, but something's bugging me about that rock. It looks like it has a certain sheen to it. Does anyone else see anything weird about that?"
Not really.
Well, it's a little strange.
Yeah, as you pointed out to, like when Cornelius points it out to the rest of you, you can see the sheen as well when it catches the light.
I mean, it's no Dwayne Johnson.
Can I go up to the rock and inspect it more closely?
Yeah, if you want. And yeah, as you pointed out, one of the hunters goes up as well with you. Weapons at the ready, or weapon at the ready rather. And yeah, he walks up alongside you.
I also did
And
like he had weapons on ready. Walking forward.
so do you follow with
I
them?
I followed behind them, but not next to them.
All right.
Just watching their backs.
All right. Are the rest of you following as well, or staying behind by the pool of water?
Sure, I'll follow.
Yeah, might as well.
I'll follow. Weapon at the ready.
All right. Yeah, you all cautiously walk up to this rock formation, and Yeah, as you get close enough, you see that there seems to be some sort of liquid running, like emitting from this a crack in this rock that's just going down the side of the biggest boulder. And yeah, that's what caught your eye to begin with.
Where's it coming from?
This liquid is coming from a crack in the rock.
So it's come from inside the rock.
The crack is probably like maybe a couple of meters up from the ground level.
What does the liquid look like?
Hard to tell when it's just to the backdrop of the rock, but I think the hunter pulls out his knife and just
Who
What
wants
is
to
it?
look it?
What does it smell like?
Who wants to look it?
roll me an awareness with smelling based awareness. Hands, if you wish.
Smells like a rock.
Yeah, it has that earthly rock smell. But yeah, the hunter pulls his knife and just scrapes some of it off and looks at it. And it seems to be some silvery liquid. It's very hard to tell, but yeah, against this matte black knife or skinning knife or utility knife, it seems to be like some silvery liquid.
Say it's mercury, guys. Or
Do we have
unicorn blood.
We have something we can take a sample in. Check it out later.
All right, you have something. I'm sure, like everyone carries some sort of container for liquid. Maybe it's just a hip flask, to store ammosac, or a canteen bottle for water. But everyone has something to these. That you scrape together some liquid in it for analysis later. Are the rest of you looking around the rock, or are you just looking at this particular side of it?
I'm still behind them, so I'm looking. I'm trying to like look around, see any danger, any movement.
Yeah.
That's not us.
Yeah. As I inspect it, I'll be making my way completely around it to try and get different angles on it.
All right. Yeah, you see there is as you're walking around it, there is so there is this one massive boulder, probably, like I said, roughly like 10 or so meters, so it's absolutely huge. And then there is a whole bunch of smaller boulders and rocks that have just been laying around it and stacked against it. Thing. Natural formation rather than man-made or constructed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look at that and I'm gonna say, yeah, it seems like this place was built on purpose. I don't think this is a natural mineral formation or anything like that.
You see this liquid that comes from the rock. It's not pooling on the ground. It just seems to be going into the ground itself rather than pooling. When you look at the floor, or sort of the ground around the rock. And yeah, as you're walking around the rock, you do see several other places where this same kind of liquid is dripping or trickling down from the rock in various cracks in it.
What do you guys think the over-under is on this being the fountain of youth?
You want to try it?
Have a sip and see.
Not it.
Not it.
Yeah, I'm not that desperate yet.
Suppose Cons could give it a taste.
Yeah,
Why are we tasting it?
why
To
not?
be the fountain of youth.
Yeah, well, Fountain of Youth is for humans.
Can we look for an entrance or some sort to the underground where this liquid is going to?
Yeah, if you want, you can start moving some boulders around.
Or just because if it's
Give
not
me,
going
give me
puddling,
a
I mean,
strength check.
me.
Well, whoever is moving the boulders.
Hey, Cons, you want to move some boulders around, see where this water's leading?
You're not my superior. I want to speak to your manager. Oh wait, that's me.
Again.
Fired.
Apparently.
Told
I'll
you you're
try
not my
and move.
superior.
God damn it. Nobody can move. Did anybody else move these rocks around?
This is just a flat strength chest.
Yeah. God
Nope.
damn it. Oh, the tiny girl is just moving boulders around. Well, we're giant people can't move them at all.
I believe it. I'm not stretching.
I like to think that I picked up what I thought was a boulder and moved it, and it was actually just Arden's character.
I don't think you were able to move me either, apparently.
I mean,
can't
we're
move
talking,
anything.
we're talking about boulders, not people. People are easy to move. It's not exactly like you're. I mean, you're a pretty aerodynamic shape. You're a sphere, so you can just roll.
The boulder's a sphere as well, so I don't know.
I mean, boulders aren't necessarily spheres, Arden. They almost always have a flat side. You're just like a circle ball of fat. It's easy.
But I'm not, though. I have
But you
legs and
are.
arms. Many arms.
But you're
tentacles.
corp-
Stop touching my tentacles, you weirdo.
All right. So for some inexplicable reason, when as the rest of you miserably fails to move this boulder,
You're slipping on the watery liquid.
maybe excuses aside, though, Gwen just for some reason just goes into full Hulk mode and pushes the boulder with
With
brutal
a
force.
3.1.
I mean, she is a telekinetic. She could,
Yeah, but she didn't use her telekinesis to do it. She used her
I mean,
strength.
she's a renegade telekinetic, which means that she didn't necessarily have to, make a big show of it.
Regardless of the way, he was the only one who managed to move this boulder far enough that it reveals a area or a hole underneath the cluster of boulders. And
Okay.
as the stone or boulder moves away with some protesting, you see a bunch of small insects just scurry away from the light in the dirt.
Okay. How deep is the hole go?
So it's probably like the size of the boulder is probably large enough for a normal person to get through, and then
Yeah.
underneath it seems to be some sort of like small underground tunnel network.
Can we get in and out of it easily?
So
Enough?
a normal person could get into it, but it would be required to basically crawl through it on like lay.
So a
flat
crude
on
would
the
not be able
stomach.
to crawl through it.
What
Maybe.
about sending a servo skull through it or something?
Yeah, I can send my
Doesn't
server
require-
skull.
Doesn't require putting a flesh and blood at risk.
Yeah, I can send my server skull to look around down there. You want me to roll anything?
Yeah, roll me an agility thing, please.
Agility? Just flat agility?
Flat agility.
Nope. He's a flyer though, so wouldn't it not matter? He just float around in there.
It's still
It's
a
tiny.
tunnel.
I mean, he's tiny.
It's still a
Sorry.
tunnel and unexplored territory, which means that there are walls on all sides.
He has dark sight. He's puny.
Unexplored territory.
Okay,
and
so
walls
why
on
can't
all
he get in
sides.
there?
Because the server skull has a serious case of
You being
Let's-
dumb? Yeah, I agree on that.
all right, mister, I'm gonna look out the side of a window of a fucking motion sensor.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that rolling a
So-
motion sensor on the gun cutter.
I'm not volunteering to crawl first. And we
Right.
are supposed to be going to look at a beast. Or a possible beast.
Apologies for taking so long. I'm setting up a map here. That's why I'm letting you ramble on without interrupting you. But yeah, the server skull goes down no problem at all in the hole. How far in do you send it?
I just wanted to scout around. I don't
But
know.
how far in? Like if you just scout the immediate area, you can
Oh no,
poke your head in there.
no, just to see where it leads, or at least for a few minutes, just skulk around in there.
All right. So yeah, you send the server skull in down there. Yeah, and it goes down just fine. Like it's tiny enough that it fits through the hole, no problem. So that's no issue at all. Like it has enough wiggle room to do a little jig if you want, as it goes down in the tunnel. Like I said, it's for a normal human could fit crawling on the stomach. Your server skull fits. But yeah, as you send it down, you see this. You follow the trickle or the floating
The
liquid
water.
inside down into the earth, and it comes into this probably like I want to say like 5-6 meters down. You follow the tunnel, and it comes into this larger cavern underneath the earth. Does the server skull have dark sight by any chance?
Yes, he does.
All right. So yeah, you see a fair bit of distance down here, and there seems to be some crystalline structure on the wall in this cavern as the server skull descends into it. So on the walls, as it looks around closest to the exit where the server skull came in, you have this like crystalline formation of some like gently glowing red crystals on the wall.
Do I see any motion? Can I roll for any motion around?
There's
Movement?
no motion or anything
Okay.
other than what the.
How big is the room? Approximately.
I mean, you can see one of the walls that's closest to the exit that you come through. The server skull came through, and you can't see the other one.
Oh, so it's fairly large.
Large enough that it's outside your dark vision range.
Okay. So I recall my server skull and I relay the information to everybody else.
The server
That is
skull
it.
doesn't come back up again.
Oh, thanks. You're stuck in there? Alright, so guys, there's a large...
You do still see through the eyes, and as it keeps lowering itself, you do see more of as the wall side of the wall disappears into a jointing chamber, and you do see as it comes down to rest on the ground what appears to be an underground lake of some description with more of this silvery liquid.
Okay. There's a large cavern down there with, I guess, an oasis inside, or whatever it's called. There's a large puddle of the silvery liquid. I did not see any motion, but if you guys want to go check it out, we can do that. Is there any other entrance to this that the server skull can see, or no?
From where it is right now, the only thing it sees in its immediate within dark sight range. It's just a small island it's sitting on, and the lake of shining liquid.
Can I roll a concealment on it and fly it around just to see if it detects any motion?
As you're trying to force it to move, it doesn't respond at all.
Okay,
You
so it
can still
doesn't
see
have
and hear
signals.
through it, but yeah, it doesn't. You can't move it at the moment.
So is it because it's not receiving a signal, or something else is jamming it? Because if I can still see through it, that means it's still receiving or sending some kind of signal, but it's just not receiving anything.
I mean, that would be the logical assumption, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like we might have a problem that either the cave itself or the liquid, maybe that's around the lake, is interfering with signals being sent down there. That is either a very, I guess it could be a profitable liquid if it is doing that, because it could, if it's used to block signals, it might be nice, or there's some kind of man-made object that's doing it. Either way, I think we should go check it out.
Yeah,
When I say
you
man-made,
can,
I mean
go down.
creature-made. And
You have the lumen globe, right?
I do have the looming globe on the thing, but I cannot activate it from up here since it cannot receive any signals.
Oh, it's on the servo skull. Okay.
The rock is not affecting because we're still receiving signals from the thing.
I mean, I think that you're a broken cog boy. It's all. Listen, just because you can't get it up, it's okay.
Oh, I can get it up fairly well.
Not according to your server skill.
I don't know.
Did it come back? No. It's okay, Aridin.
All right.
It's a lot more of a
So
common
do
issue.
you guys want to go down there?
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah, I'm also down.
I'll go as long as I'm not the first to the hole.
I assume, what's it called? Gwen, Maine, and Cornelius can easily fit through. Well, I mean, when I say easily, they can fit through the hole to get down to the cavern, correct? The problem would be me and Kans. And I can phase through probably, if need be.
Yeah, it shouldn't. I mean, if you phase through the wall, like honestly, you're probably the one who won't be fitting. Cons, I think, is
Okay, so yeah,
he's
then
just
we're all right.
tall rather than bulky.
Okay, I wasn't sure just because.
Yeah, I mean,
Tall and thin.
again, I the reason I have financial strength isn't because I'm bulky. It's because, I mean, you may not have noticed, but I'm not a human.
No, you're tall though. You're really tall, so I wasn't sure if you can fit down there.
I wasn't aware that the hole had a bottom that was 8 feet in. My bad.
That was, I don't know how long or whatever the hole is. That's what I was asking. All right, so if we can all
I'm
fit in
about
there,
ready to push somebody in the hole.
I'll go in first. Shit, I'll phase in and start going through because I know the path my server skull took, and they can follow me in.
Yeah, so
They can follow my legs in. Sorry.
roll. If you're going, I need you to roll me a logic here, please. Or a logic, I think, would be the most optimal thing, applicable thing.
I was about to. I'm like, why is my logic 7? Now I looked at it was my server skull. Logic +0. God damn it. Wait, hold on. What do I need logic for?
Well, as the server skull was traveling down, you can't accurately gauge how far it is from the roof of the cavern to the bottom of it, to where the surface is.
No, I can still go forward, right? I mean,
this is retroactively doing this for the server skull when you were looking at it, but yeah, you don't know roughly how steep the fall is.
okay. I do have rope on me, so we could always, rope it down.
That is certainly one thing you could do.
I did bring rope this time, so we don't have to look for rope. So I mean, yeah, let's just get to the hole that the server skull was at. Then we can look down and see how far that is. if anything, we can have Crude Boy jump down, and then we can send down a rope to just secure everything. How do you guys feel about that?
If you get me where I can see it, I can get.
All right.
How much does the thing weigh?
What?
Servo skull.
How much does it weigh?
Yeah, how big is it?
It's
very big.
it's puny. It's very small. It's
Yeah.
basically a skull with electronics, so it's a little bigger than like normal head.
Not actually much bigger because the electronics
Oh,
are
that's why I said
inside
a little
it.
bigger.
But, well, no,
Well,
it's not big.
It has a lumen globe attached to the bottom or top. I don't know where I want it. But yes, it's about the size of a head. So is there... All right, there we go. Oh wait, I have it really small. Okay, so there's some people down there. Those two
Yeah,
people,
so
are
place
they...
yourselves where you want to be. Up top, top right is where the rock and the liquid.
This is where it is?
Yep.
All right, so we were able to land down here safely?
Or what?
Were we able to get down safely? This is
Into the hole.
So what is this right here?
This is the forest level, like ground.
Oh, this
floor
is the
kind of thing.
forest. And this is the lake that we just... Okay, I see.
That's a small puddle of water
Mhm.
where the charge and the tracker and the two hunters are decided to sit down for a bit and have a afternoon snack.
Okay.
And then, yeah, Cornelius, you saw this rock in the distance glimmering with this liquid. You and the hunter went off over here to investigate, and the rest came over to have a look as well. So, Gwen, Kent, where are you at? All right, and you wanted to, after you removed the boulder, you wanted. So, who is going first down in this hole? Just so I know this.
Not
I mean,
Gwen.
I'll go first since I know the path to the hole down to the cavern. I would like Kant, since he is, well, I guess the strongest or at least the most nimble, to be behind me so that we can secure
I
the
would
rope.
like not be. No.
Okay, whatever. Whoever else wants to be behind me, they can go.
Alright, I'll go behind you then.
All right, great. So yeah, I'll get down to the hole and start trekking towards the entrance to the clearing. And before, obviously, we fall off or jump off, depending on how high it is, I would like to see if I can look down.
Yeah, so there's like I said before, there's a tunnel network inside the ground, and it's like 8 or 9 meters down into the earth. So it's a bit of a hassle to squeeze your way through, and you're doing this like crawling on your belly, basically, all the way through. It doesn't matter for you because you're facing through the earth, so
Yeah.
you're not you don't have to bother with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't fit. But
Thank you.
whoever else is coming down here will have a really difficult time, and you cannot basically pass through each other. You either go up or you go
One by
down.
one.
Yeah, it's one by one, single file,
Okay.
and it's an arduous journey. Yeah, you descend first through, just casually shifting through the earth, and you throw down the rope as well.
Yeah, I throw down the rope down here first for them to
All right.
get down, and whatever's left I save for if we need to use it again.
All right. So you phase shift through the earth, and yeah, as you're coming closer, you're not hindered at all by the physicalities of dirt and stone, and also it goes pretty fast for you. And yeah, as you get to the entrance of the hole in the ceiling, basically, you look down into the cave, and see the you see the cavern or the start of it. Do you have dark vision at all?
I do not.
All right.
That's all I
Um,
wanted. I think the crude had it. That's why I wanted him behind.
All right. So yeah, you poke your head through the ceiling, and you look down, and far down, you see the servo skull just sitting on an island.
Can I
Uh,
communicate with it now?
I mean, you've been able to communicate
But
with it
send
the entire
signals. I mean.
time. Sorry, what?
Can I send signals?
I mean, you can try.
All right. Can I try and call it up and to light up its lumen globe?
Yeah, you tell it to light up the looming globe, and it just floods the area, immediate area with light.
All right.
And yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay. How far are we down from the
Roll
bottom?
me now that you can see a bit better. Roll me a logic thing.
A logic. Okay. God damn! I have 50 logic. Can I re-roll that?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, I'm done. It's not my day, guys.
It's really hard to tell with all the reflectiveness of the room downstairs, the cavern, to actually gauge how far down it is.
Can I just throw down the
But-
rope and see if
but
it
you see,
reaches the bottom?
But you see, there is a basically sheer drop straight down, unless you were to climb on the wall. At which point it would be a bit hazardous, maybe to go from the edge of the hole in the ceiling to the wall, but it's possible.
Can I send down the rest of the rope or no?
You cannot touch the rope at all.
Oh, sorry.
So when you phase shift, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot do anything in the material realm.
I mean, I
cannot
can
touch
still send down the rope, but just no one else can touch it, right?
No.
The rope is there for you. If you have it with you, the rope is there, but no one else.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I just want to see if the rope reaches the ground.
It doesn't reach the ground.
Doesn't reach the ground? All right, I guess we can just try and climb down. Guys, my rope doesn't reach the ground, so even if I put it, so
Do you face back so you can communicate with the
I
others?
can't communicate when I'm phased out. I thought it was just like incorporeal, but I can still communicate.
You are literally in a different realm of existence.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You're not on the same plane of
I
existence.
wasn't sure. I thought it was more incorporeal than a different plane. All right, so
You're
then
not Casper.
I got you. All right, I would like to throw down my rope. Attach it to. I guess I can't attach it either. All right, fuck it. All right, I just like to climb down. Fuck it.
Alright, so you do this in your incorporeal form then?
Can I corporealize up there?
Nope, because if you do,
There you go. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So yeah, I try and climb down in my incorporeal form and see, if I can get to the.
So you just phase shift through the floor or through the wall itself. So you're just slowly, climbing down without any issue at all.
All right, then I would like to corporealize myself when I'm on the floor, and
Alright.
let everyone know that I have a little bit of rope I can send up to, help their climb a little with my service skull.
So it takes you in your incorporeal form. Like I said, there is no resistance or anything, so you can do it pretty fast. But now that you're standing down on this little island next to the wall, this little bit of ground next to the crystal outcropping, You can maybe eyeball the top ceiling with some difficulty, and it's probably like 75 meters up.
So if I have the 75 meters.
Yeah, roughly.
All right. So I would like to just let everyone know, guys, about a 70-meter drop or climb down. You guys feel comfortable doing it, or do you guys want? How much rope do I have? 30, 40 meters of rope.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So I can send you guys about a 30-meter rope to try and get halfway down. If you guys want to trek the other halfway.
No.
No, you're not coming down, or no?
We still have another task to fulfill. Not properly equipped for skiing.
I don't know, man. We can find something nice down here. If no one wants to come down,
How
if
about
they
you
wanna,
take some pictures and come back?
I can just let you know what's going on. We have comm devices. Can I look around the area with just me and my server skull just looking around now?
Do you have dark sight? Actually, no. You
My
don't
server
have
skull
dark
does.
sight. Yeah, but your server skull doesn't see anything.
No.
It's just casually hanging out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, but I thought can I not go retrieve it?
Which part of it's hanging out in the middle of the ocean was unclear.
Can it not fly? That's what I'm trying to ask.
No.
Oh, it cannot fly at all.
You can give the command to light the lumen globe. You can give it all the usual commands. If it had a last pistol,
But
you
it
can
cannot
shoot
fly.
with it. But it can do everything except for moving.
Okay. I see.
And there is a lot of liquid between you, where you are standing, and where the little island is, where the server skull is.
And all right. So I can't see anything. Who has dark sight in the party?
Well, is the globe lit up?
Yes.
The globe is the servo skull is visible. How far is the servo skull?
He's on an island in
Nearest
the
bit
lake.
of land
Nearest bit.
that is accessible. As in, if you want to retrieve it, wind's range is 5 meters times your sight rating. So that's only 10 meters.
Unless you push. Can they push?
Yes, up to 4.
Yeah, you can push, so you can make that higher. Just bad things happen when you push.
Yeah, well, she's still up on the surface, and that's quite a bit away.
So how far is the server skull from the land?
From where you're standing, maybe 50 or 60 meters out.
That's pretty far, so no.
That's too far.
What do you guys want to do? We can head back up and just leave him there for now.
I don't want to go. Yeah, I'm not going to try and make it through the water at the moment.
We don't know what it is, and we don't know why the service skull is.
I'm just saying we should explore the cave itself for now. See if we find anything, or
We've already found something that the hunters feel we should check out, which is we're here for. And come back when we're properly equipped to deal with this particular challenge.
Can I lasso the server skull?
No, you don't have enough rope for that.
I want my server skull back.
I mean, you can certainly try if you want, but just by eyeballing it, the distance where the server skull is and the amount of rope you have, it probably wouldn't work.
If you drink all the liquid between here and there, you won't have to walk on it.
Can I drink all the liquid from between here and there?
You want to try?
No, because I don't want to taste this liquid. Looks weird. All right, I mean, we can head back up and talk to the hunters and see what they want to do. Can I get back up to the hall?
Yeah, if you phase shift.
Yeah, I'll face your ship back up.
Yeah, so you phase shift through the wall and then start climbing your way up again. So it takes you a bit of time, but you get up there. No problems.
Guys, my silver skull stuck down there.
So while the tech priest is screwing around in a cave somewhere, what are the rest of you doing on the surface?
I don't know. I went back to the pond.
I'll hang out near the cave entrance, and then when I see Conrad on his way back up, I'll go ahead and start heading back to the pond.
I'll wait to make sure he comes back out of the hole.
I'm making my way out.
All right. What's Maine up to?
I'm waiting for him to get out before I head back to the pond.
All right.
Hello. So, I went down there. I saw my silver skull. He couldn't fly for some reason, so I don't know what happened. Once we, get to, can we like mark this location for now? Get back here if we need to later with some tools to try and retrieve him.
Yeah, we can do it.
All right,
We
great.
should try to find out
other than
what
that,
the substance is before we risk getting dunked in it.
Other than that, let's go see Sarge and see what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's standing nearby. Him.
Oh, that's Sarge up there?
Him and the other two hunters were just on high alert, looking
Okay.
around in the forest.
So yeah, call Sarge over and see what do we have to do. Where's these creatures they were tracking?
Yeah, you ask that, and you consult with the data set again. It says probably about 20 or so minutes that way, and it points off in the forest.
All right, do you guys want to go head towards the creatures? See if they're important.
And as you all start gathering yourselves and start moving out, you hear George having a conversation over his walk speed, talking to the hunter or the tracker, and just correcting some doing some course correction on the map, updating the cartography. You only hear his side of the conversation, though. It's quiet voice, but you can hear at least what he's saying. Yeah, you keep going for a bit more in the forest, and eventually come to another smaller clearing. And I think when you're about like 5-10 minutes out, he holds up the hand to stop the group. He gathers everyone around, and he says, "So what I've heard from the tracker ahead, there is currently 2 beasts residing. They are, I think, from what the tracker could tell, they're sleeping right now. But we need to be cautious. Anyway, these beasts are not to be underestimated. They can do some terrifying damage if they get in close with you. And from what I understood, that you wanted this one to be captured alive, or at least one of them."
Are they the same creature? Same type of creature? Sorry.
As far as we can tell, yeah. This is one of the places where they sleep.
You guys want to engage it, or do you guys want to let the trackers and hunters try and get it?
So what do we have to capture the actual animal? Do the hunters have nets or tranks, or are we just going to try and wound it?
Do you ask this or do you ask him, the DM?
I'll go ahead and ask him. Ask Serge. So how do you intend to capture the beast in front of us?
And he gestures to his weapons. Says, we all carry trank rounds for when we're hunting something that we want alive. And if it proves too much, then we just put it out of its misery with normal rounds.
Can I ask for a clip of trank rounds?
We don't have anything that works for bolters.
What do you guys? Do you guys have extra guns?
I think one of them hands you a pistol.
Got a pistol.
A stub revolver.
Sub revolver with trank rounds.
Yes.
Where are trank rounds, by the way? Or are they not?
That is an excellent question. I don't know the answer.
I was looking at, I can't see trank unless they're named. There's snare shells, but that's, I believe, for shotguns. Right.
I don't know. I don't recall from the top of my head what the hell they're called, but they do -4 damage, and they have stunning.
-4 damage.
But yeah. After you as you're having this, all of you having this conversation, you see the two hunters and Sarge himself start doing the final gear check, and yeah, he radios in again to make sure that everything is in position.
All right. Yeah, I'll move into a decent spot. Keep my gun ready in case we need to gun it down.
All right.
Also move to position. Guns ready.
I take a looks like a likely position.
I want to hide and sneak up
Gun
on
ready.
this motherfucker.
With a gun ready.
Sounds like an excellent suggestion. So roll me that concealment then.
All right.
So are you all gonna try to approach this resting place stealthily, or are you just gonna go in, stomping around the forest, guns blazing?
Good question.
I know the recruit will be the most likely one that just sneaks off somewhere.
I'm going to actually sneak up, and would that be a silent move roll?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to do that as well.
I'll phase and sneak up to see, if I can find it and see what they're doing.
That pisses me off though. Only 1.6 with 90. Like, what the fuck?
1.6 with 90. How?
At least you didn't fail. So.
I'm gonna spend a fate to give myself +10 on this.
All right.
Damn, son. That +6 is working out for you.
Nope, not for
Is
me.
it a half action or a full action to unface?
Half action.
Hmm.
Alright, well, I'll just, since I failed at concealment.
All right. So by the looks of it, most of you are walking stealthily enough, and then there's someone who's stumbling around on twigs and maybe stumble over.
Gwen.
I mean,
and-
I didn't roll because I just assumed I would fail it.
I mean, you're stomping around too, Erden.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
silent move.
Did you roll your silent move?
I don't need to. I'm phased.
No.
If you want, Travi, you can try to roll and see if it has any effect.
I believe in you.
So do I do both or just silent move?
You have to do both.
Silent move to approach it. That's the only thing.
Just a flat roll?
Yeah, flat roll.
It's about what I expected.
Wow.
What is your silent move?
22.
Hey, mine's 20, so. Well,
Mine's 20 unless I pull out the psyker.
Sorry, I'm just setting up the map.
you guys just stay back.
Because, this whole preparation thing is not something I've figured out. I've done this for like years.
Okay.
A completely new map that you have never seen.
Yeah, those rocks turned around in many different directions. Is that the same rock?
Of course not. They're completely new and unknown rocks.
Yeah, definitely new. All three different distinct shapes and sizes.
Didn't realize you were a geologist.
So, what's the green line?
Your mom.
Got him.
You know how Forge, you may not want to start working on the scaling of these maps.
What's the problem with the thing then?
I mean,
20 meters, 25 meters.
I can dash back and forth across this map twice in one turn.
I'm not even trying to fucking include you in anything these days because of your bullshit.
You're just
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to fucking triple charge, from here to Terra and back, that's fine. Yeah. Like, you're not the only one.
So,
like,
could I use this? Are the shank rounds? Are they like effectively like needle darts effectively? And if so, can I use one as a melee weapon?
So I cannot for the life of me find where these are.
I can't find them either.
I think they're Into the Storm. Let me check quick.
I looked at Into the Storm ammo and unusual ammo in the core book.
It's not there.
Yeah, they
Not
might.
there.
They could also be in like Dark Heresy or something as well.
Well, I
maybe.
know there's a trank poison, but I don't know where the
I'm
rounds
looking at
are.
Dark Heresy right now.
Hear me out. We can break the darts, pour it on my chain fist, and I'll punch it to sleep.
Oh, I mean, I'm immune to poison, so we could break the darts, pour it in my mouth, and I could just sprint over, bite it, and then sprint back. Easy. Get a trank to one turn rather than having to roll to shoot it.
It's just a trink, bro.
If there was a corner, I'd put you in it.
Right, I'm just having a quick read here. It's basically like a shell, and what it does is from what I can tell, it's no damage reduction or anything. So whatever thing listed on the weapon
Is
profile,
it stun
that's it.
shells?
Yeah, stun shells, but these are modified to work with solid projectile weapons.
Okay. Because they just gain,
Okay.
but they don't work with bolt guns.
Nope, just normal solid projectiles.
All right.
Oh yeah, the bright green lines here, that's the forest edge, so there's a clearing here. Because, I'm unimaginative and cannot be bothered to fucking make proper maps. Yeah, reposition yourself where you wish to be.
I would like to go at the edge of the clearing, hide behind a tree, and phase back into existence.
All right, you phase back into existence behind it.
I think I'll find a likely. I think I'm gonna try to use Mind Shadow.
Oh shit! Brain powers.
I haven't done this before, so
Are those the trees?
a focus power test. Willpower. Character activates this technique with focus power test.
What are you trying to use?
Mind Shadow.
So you first run. You want to do it unfeathered or push?
Unfeathered.
So you click on the unfeathered right there, and it should just automatically roll for it. I believe if you pass or fail your skill, and then you have to roll for whatever the skill tells you. Do you know what page? What page is that on?
Navis Primer 1 something.
Oh, it's in Navis Primer. Give me 1 second then.
Oh yeah, she's a
Yeah, I forgot.
non-normal psyker.
Yeah, I have it. There we go. Navis Primer page 1. Jeez. Okay, Renegade Psyker.
All right, so you make a focus power test at a half action on yourself. It's a sustained power, and because you're a Renegade Psyker, there's something about Renegade Psykers and sustained powers in the core book. I'll check real quick.
So basically, just click on the unfeathered roll, and then it should just let you roll. It'll give you like a pop-up. Just press OK for everything. Yep, you failed.
Give myself a headache.
Did you roll doubles? No, she did not. Okay. And do Renegade Psykers roll on the table when they do unfeathered or no? I don't know how they work. Let's find out. While Hellfish figures out the creature locations. So, as a Renegade Psyker, if roll doubler. Okay, so you did not roll double, so you're fine. And this was unfeathered, right?
Unfeathered.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So normally, for your skills, if you roll a double, you roll on the table with a +5. per side rating, so it'll be a +10 for you. If you do unfeathered.
All right. So you advance swiftly into the forest clearing, some making more noise than others. And yeah, as you are maybe 20 or so meters away.
Gwen, where do you want to be?
Trying to decide where's it. Don't shoot anybody.
You can go where I was if you want. Yeah, that's good. So basically, everybody on the right side made a lot of noise.
Yeah, so
Oh no, main. Sorry. No.
as you approach, yeah, the tracker who was hanging out, waiting for you, waves at you to slow down and be a bit more cautious. He just says to all of you that there are currently 3 beasts that I have seen resting in the underneath the rock formation ahead. But that you all should keep an eye out for anything unusual in the terrain. So, are you moving up? And yeah, after that, he readies his weapon. Well, do a final check and change something in a sign language with his hand to Sarge, who just gives him a nod before slotting the stun round rifle. So yeah, you advance to the forest line. You want to hide yourselves at all? I think the crew has already decided to hide. But do the rest of you want to hide as well, or are you just going to stand hanging out in the open?
I'm just hanging out behind the tree.
Yeah, I mean, they can't see me back here, can they?
I'm gonna hide next to a tree as well.
Main don't need to hide. He just charges in. Just try not to kill them.
They probably heard me dragging my feet and kicking rocks and shit as I walked up.
That is also true.
The picture I just posted in the Discord is basically Erden's character trying to hide behind a tree.
These are big trees.
Yeah, look at the trees.
but Erden is like, I think I'm the only one who actually concealed. So
I attempted to and failed.
Didn't he hear me coming?
Right. Actually, that was to see if it I got the bonuses for shadow. Did it right?
Yeah, no, you failed. So I don't know what that.
So I didn't get the bonuses.
You got nothing from that. You just failed it.
Sorry, just one moment. Apparently I forgot to fill out some key information on the character sheet. Health and all that.
Who needs health?
I mean, right.
I mean, as long as our ranged players keep critting, then
we don't want to crit these guys. We want to try, knock them out.
I'm gonna go bite them.
I should just stop trying. Like a couple twigs in my hair and thought I was in.
So am I the only one that got the stub revolver?
I'm gonna use goddamn shrink weapons. I'll just go tackle it. I mean,
yeah, you can do that. Soak in traffic.
I don't have wrangling.
Yeah, but you can still grapple or stun them. As long as you can stun them, we can get the hunter suit.
My character like sprints over it and tackles it and starts, doing wrangling stuff. Traffic's character sprints over and tackles it and just holds it down. What now? I forgot what to do. Oh shit.
I mean, you just call someone up.
I'm just sitting there like holding it pinned down by the neck. I need an adult. I forgot what to do next.
Oh shit, I didn't study.
Sarge, what do I do?
Hold it down, damn it.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
In the background, I'm like RKOing a lion or some shit.
So if you want to try and straight up stun them, it's a -20 weapon skill, Traffic.
Speak for yourself, Arden.
Not talking to you.
That is a very slim
And then
chance.
if you're successful, you do a 1d10 plus strength bonus versus their 1d10 plus toughness bonus and head armor. And if you win, it's however many points you win with. That's how long they're stunned for, and that's how much fatigue they lose.
And what's a grapple? Just
A
a
grapple-
post-strength test?
A grapple is, I believe, a post strength. Let me check again. The grapple does nothing except, this way, if they're knocked down, you can just easily trap them.
If you all want, you can take a 5-minute break because currently I misplaced all my goddamn notes.
All right, I'll get another cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
So for one, you don't have to roll grapple to stun. That's just wrong.
I didn't say that.
You said roll grapple and -20 weapons test.
No, I said if you want to stun, you roll a -weapon 20 test. And then he asked, what do I need for a grapple? I said, I don't know. I'm going to go check.
Plus
So-
20 weapons tests, and you can see the various types of grappling on page 240.
Okay, again, I wasn't talking about grapple. I was talking about an actual straight up
I was
stun.
answering traffic.
Traffic, do you have like some sleeping, like NyQuil? You can feed the things NyQuil and put them to sleep. Try and shove some NyQuil down their throat.
No, because I can get unnatural perception too, I can auto succeed all awareness tests. Feels good, man.
No wonder I couldn't find it. Damn it, I was looking at the wrong PDF.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. Did you hear about the grapple? To get into grapple is just a regular weapon skill test. It's like, it's a standard attack. So whatever you roll for your attack, that's what it is. And then once you're in grapple, you can throw them down, push them, and they can obviously try to break free. And if they try to break free, it's an opposed strength test. But to get into grapple, it's not actually an opposed strength. That sounds very...
Easy enough.
Alright, sorry for the super shitty DMing here, because apparently I can't plan for shit these.
So it's a weapon skill test, sorry. So whatever your weapon skill is. And then if you get into grapple, that's when they can try and break free on their turn. And you can end it anytime you want for free without, wasting a turn.
A Hellforge.
Yep.
Let's just entertain a hypothetical real quick. And just hear me out. Damon pack with a crew.
How are you thinking now?
I don't know if I can run it across the demon, get a pack going, and then get that dank unnatural weapon skill.
I mean, you could certainly try if you come across a demon willing to bargain with you.
Alright.
Just gotta find some chaos cultists first to summon one for you. Or
I can do
just
that.
hang out in a place where the Gallifrey ain't too happy about things. Right, so I'm just reading up on shocking weapons, or weapons with shocking, right? Apparently I forgot to do that as well. So if it takes at least 1 point of damage from after armor and toughness, it makes a toughness test with the bonus for every point of armor on that location. If it fails, he's stunned for a number of round equals to the half the number of damage inflicted. So it takes 6 damage after the toughness and the toughness test. It's down for 3 rounds. I mean, that picture right there, that seems accurate. If it weren't for the fact that these trees are absolutely massive to the extreme.
I mean, not the only thing that's massive.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back. Are we all here then?
I think so.
I'm here.
Ready.
Looks like we're all here.
Excellent. So yeah, we look at you all do your preparations, and hunters unsheath their weapons from their whatever respecting resting place they had before, and you see all of them have blending in with their environment pretty well. So unless you were actually saw when they moved the cloaks to cover themselves, you would not be able to pick them out from the background of the forest anymore. And yeah, you see Sarge still standing there looking while the 2 other hunters, both the trackers, have concealed themselves. So hey, Sarge turns to all of you, and as you're making your preparations and looking at out in the clearing, he says, "How do you want to do this then? As far as we know, there's 3 of them, so we can take 1, kill the other 2, take as many as we can."
I mean, let's try and take as many as we can. We don't know how many are going to die in this thing. Try and take all of them. Attempt. If we can knock one down and wrangle it and get it inside a cage, then we can kill the other ones. But other than that, we can try, try our best not to kill all three.
And as far as looking at, you see there is some shape in one of the cave entrances you see sticking out. Like there is something.
Is it
But
cave
you-
entrance? You said?
You can't really see what's going on. And so, how should I explain this properly? Because I have a idea in my head of how this looks, but I don't know if I can accurately convey it. So, as you see in front of
The
you,
clearing.
yeah, there's a clearing there there's like brushes, underbrush, basically foliage and such, grass,
Okay.
just
Flowers and stuff.
yeah, some rocks, logs hanging out, doing the usual forest thing. And then beyond that, there is a rock formation where a shaded rock formation with some tunnel entrance or such. Basically, like an animal would find this type of shelter, overhead shelter, and then dig down into the earth a bit and make a layer in there.
You're saying there's a layer over there, or something that looks like a layer?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a shadowy figure there.
There is something you see, something sticking out of it.
Okay. Where can we see the creatures? The three creatures that you said we saw, like on the map.
I think, yeah, all of you roll me a side-based awareness, see if you can spot it. Why is there an intimidation roll from Gwen there in the mix?
I just wanted to see what would happen. I'm trying to get all my bad rolls out.
Yeah,
Not done yet,
work.
apparently.
you thoroughly intimidated a tree next to you. It made you
Somebody
a
gave
solid,
me a dirty look for
it
making
made
so
you a,
much
made you a solid promise not to drop any branches on you while you were stomping on the ones on the ground already. Yeah, so Conrad, you're the only one who can see. There seems to be some sort of paw sticking out from one of the cave entrances.
I forgot the roll.
God damn it! But yes, you see it as well. Actually, you see what looks to be a paw of some description with three large talons sticking out, from the cave entrance.
A
Seems
paw
to be
with
something.
talons.
Seems to be something resting there.
Where are the other two creatures we saw, by any chance?
Can't see them. You see one in the.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to tell Sarge and let him decide who needs to know and who doesn't.
Right. Yeah. So Thor's quickly disseminates the information between everyone. The important to know, which is everyone in this case. Yeah. With that, I think Sarge takes a rock, a fairly large rock, and just grabs it and tosses it. Yeah, it bounces off the entrance to one of the caves, the middle one. I keep saying caves when it's really a lair. But yeah, the rock
I mean, the
bounces off.
bat layer is a cave.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, you see the talon, the paw moving as something reacts inside it, and yeah, after a moment of movement, as you are all cautiously waiting, you see after the Sarge through the rock, he floats himself in the chameleon cloak again, and he just blends into the forest seamlessly. A few moments passes, and out from the lair pokes a fairly significant head that is attached to a pair of paws somewhere along the lines of down south towards the ground. That was really clunky description, but yeah, it's a head and a pair of paws that pokes out from the lair entrance.
Looks pretty.
All right. Can I take my bolt gun and spend a full action aiming at it without revealing my concealment?
Yes, you.
All right, I'll do that then.
Can I do that with my with the stub revolver?
Sure. And this is to see if the beast noticed anything, because he got annoyed by something throwing rocks at it.
Traffic, that's the same stock image I used for those things way back when.
The what?
Back when we played that versus game, that's the same stock image I used for the shit in the cave.
Right, so it pokes his head out and looks around, but he can't see anything. Keeps looking for a bit more, and just stands there in the cave entrance to it. Then, head and
Can
a bit.
Can I ask Sarge if I can try and shoot it with the? Is this the creature we're looking? And can I shoot it with a trank dart, with the trank revolver?
I mean, if you want to shoot it, you can shoot it.
All right, I would like to shoot it. Since I aimed, I would like to shoot it with the trank revolver.
All right, go for it.
I'm just gonna roll my bolt gun, like the roll for it, and then I'll roll the damage for the trank.
It's roll ballistics plus, what is it, 20 for rifle aim.
Mm-hmm. So that's one shot. It's I think 1d10 plus 3.
Yeah, and it's unaware of your presence, so a bit more successes than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's only one. It's a single shot anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
7 damage with shocking. So if that penetrates, I assume it's shock. No pen.
We have a quick look here, see if I can actually find it, because I don't have the that's for a revolver. That's what happens when I only look at this like once a week. Don't have all the necessary stuff. Yeah, it's D10 plus 3. Yeah, you
I have it already.
Yeah, you shoot at it. It just shrugs its head, and starts looking in your direction, because it heard a loud bang. So it turned its head to look in your direction, but you don't seem to have done anything to it.
Oh, good. Guys,